Call Haloyumla, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. I want to give a double honors to the apostles and elders that prophesied in Ruel for the hopeful 144 and the 1/3 of Yasharallah, who this world refers to as Israel, starting at the house of great millstone. Shalom to you, Akim, who teach and learn in sincerity. Shalom to the Akwith, who learn in sincerity. It's your brother, Khanan, and this will be titled Amalek, or as you may know him as the Israelis, not Israel, not the true Yasharallah, he Prince of Power, you so-called African Americans, Native Americans, Hispanics, also you speckled birds, ranging from they look like you come from any nation, mixed amongst all the nations. However, your father goes back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Therefore, you are the house of Yasharallah, he Prince of Power. Not those people, not the true, but the Israelis, the occupiers, the bastards that dwell in our land to this day, starting with Ben Juyunat, who you looking at, okay? Amalek, the least of the flock, but the the head of Edom's family, as you want to say. All right, laundry list, aka receipts. Okay, and this funny thing is, I named this video this without even knowing that word was mentioned. So let's get it.
Laundry list.
Okay, a long or extensive list of people or things. And in this, we're going to be focusing on things, the things that Amalek do. Okay, the things that make you go, back in the day, Arsenio Hall, if you if you know. All right. But this is not a laughing matter. Okay. These people, we got receipts of how fraudulent, how wicked they are. All right. And where does the receipt start from? The scriptures, which are what? Breathing living water, flowing water, which is what? Prophecy. Okay, so this was prophesied that these wicked, the bastard will be doing these wicked things. Okay, this is the book of Obadiah, chapter 1, verse 6. How are the things of Esau? Once again, Amalek's Esau grandson, the head of the tribe. Okay, searched out? How are his hidden things sought up? Well, here's first of all, you start with Yahweh Bashem Shah, putting it on the spirit of the apostles. Okay, starting at the house of Great Millstone to teach us. I mean, we talking about current. Okay, we know it goes back to Aqua Bivens being woken, but in this current day, you get this information from the apostles, from the elders. Okay, and from the Akim doing this work in sincerity and like-minded men. And what do? We use the highways and byways first of all. Then what am I teaching this on? On the cell phone. And what am I going to do with it? Upload it to the internet, and it's going to go out today. Adawan Ratazai, Lord willing, and it's going to be viewable. So once again we calling them out. All right. How are the things of Esau searched out? All right, through the capabilities that Yahweh Bashem Yahushua gave us to expose this demon. How are his hidden things sought up? Okay? Pay attention to news now. It comes out so quick that all they can do is deny, even when they're wrong. This is the book of Amos. And here it go. This is the point I was making. 3 and 7. Surely Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, Allah, power, will do nothing, but he revealeth his secrets, okay, unto his servants. Who? The prophets. And what do the prophets do? We give you warning. We're here to get the blood off our hands, not to sit on this information, not to say, oh, now we see we're smarter than everybody else. No, we give you warning. That's what he sent us to do. Okay? Here's the book of Hebrew. No. Salakia. I didn't think so. Habakkuk. Here's the book of Habakkuk 3 and 13. Thou winneth forth for salvation of the people, even for salvation with thy anointed. Okay, wouldest thou wouldest the head of the house of the wicked by discovering the foundations unto the net. Salah. Okay, so we're gonna get this in Bible comparison, so I can easily break it down better. All right, this is Yahweh Basim Al Shah calling them out. Habakkuk 3 and 13. What do we got here? NLT. You went out to rescue your chosen people. That's right, the prophets, to save your anointed ones. You crushed the heads of the wicked and stripped their bones from head to toe. How do we do this? We do this through this word. Okay, once again, the Bible pierces. The word pierces through the wicked. All right, meaning it injures them. Okay, this is the book of this is the NIT. Once again, Habakkuk 3 and 13. You came out to deliver your people, to save your anointed one. You crushed the leaders of the land of wickedness. Now, did we crush them physically? No, we crushed on these, once again, these words that Yahweh Bashim Yahushua put in our mouth are heavy. They're the weapon. You stripped him from head to foot. And that's starting with the elite who are in terrible fear of this truth. Okay? Who are in terrible fear of this truth. Despite all the billions of dollars, they can't do nothing to stop this truth. This train coming. Chicka, chicka, chicka. PD Pablo. Because like PD Pablo said on that song, we told y'all, but y'all ain't want to listen. The Lord is on a mission. And now you see it popping off. Hey, let me calm down. Whoo. Proverbs. But y'all didn't want to listen. 26. Ooh, Lord have mercy. Proverbs 26 and 25. Yeah, you got to have some fun in this. When he speaketh fair, believe him not, for are seven abominations in his heart. What is the number seven in scripture? Spiritual. Perfection. Perfection. Listen to this. When he speak of fair, remember his words were smoother than, we're going to get that though. So when he speak those smooth words, believe him not, for there are seven abominations in his heart. And what's your heart? Your lob, your mind. Okay? We can get that, by the way. Continental. Let's get that word. There it go. Lob. What does it mean? Inner man's mind, will, heart, understanding. So he has a perfection of wicked abomination in his mind. Okay, you can't get around that, bro. There's no way around that. Here is the book of Psalms 55 and 21. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart, which we just got heart, lie, mind. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. Who was given that sword? What was that sword given him to? His blessing. Okay? You can't get around it. All right? This is the book of Proverbs. This is the book of Proverbs 26. We back at 26. I think I wanted to make that point. 26 now and 26. Who hated who who's hated is covered by deceit. Whose hatred is covered by deceit. His wickedness shall be shown before the whole congregation. Well, what is the congregation? The nations. Okay, he is being exposed. Who diggeth a pit shall fall therein, and he that rolleth a stone, it will return upon him. Remember Haman and in the book of Esther? Yeah, had to hang in them gallows. Yeah, he set him up, and him and his family got punished by him. A lying tongue haveth those that a lying tongue hateth those that are afflicted by it, and flattering mouth worketh ruin. Okay, and that's all they got. That's all they got is their wicked lies and words. Let's get it. Um, fair use, 107. I'm not selling any product. This is strictly for educational purposes. Okay. Once again, this is Amalek's laundry list. Okay.
A justified action and then trying to say that it's like indiscriminate civilian killing. It's like a setup. It's not fake, but they're doing it to themselves. You're dehumanizing yourself. You're suiciding and sacrificing your civilian population.
Hey, Edom has went completely mad. That's all I can say to this point.
Did you get that? Did you digest what was just said there? Taking it in? The Palestinian civilians were asking for it. By trying to make a
The 5 martyrs that walked forward, you know, your husband was the unlucky guy. He drew the short stick today, so come forward, cry for us on camera. Do you think the guy intentionally wanted to get killed? No, I don't think he wanted to die. I don't think they were thinking they were going to die, but they probably were hoping to get shot at, or maybe. So you're saying the woman was acting? I don't think the woman was acting. She probably was sincerely sad. Her husband got fucking killed, but I think they were farming TikTok clips. I mean, remember these people, not these people. I mean, these people actually, yeah, like have suicide bombers. So it's not that big of a stretch to imagine that they would be willing to get shot. However, now I haven't gone down this road because this is way more. It would require me to make a lot more assumptions. But it's also possible he didn't get shot, right? Now, do we know the name of the guy? Is he actually dead? Do we even know if that's his wife? These are a whole bunch of questions that would be valid. Now, if I was way more on the pro-Zionist side, I would be asking those questions. Who is this guy? Do we even know if he's actually fucking dead? Like, we don't
Son of a bitch. I mean, come on, man. Hey,
actually see the wound. Right? It seems like they don't have any problem showing anything else. Like, why just the white flag so that it can look all bloody? Like, show us the actual gunshot. You have no problem showing other violence, right? What Pallywood means is that you're capturing intentional video footage to sell a certain narrative about what's going on, basically. So Pallywood might be, this, right? So the idea is that like 4 innocent civilians are like walking up and you just want like a clip here of the IDF shooting them for no reason because they're civilians with white flags. And you kind of ignore the fact that like, okay, well, they're in a battle zone in an area they were told to evacuate from, and they're going back to try to release somebody that was captured. Like that's like Pallywood, I think. You're essentially provoking the enemy to take what is largely a justified action and then trying to say that it's like indiscriminate civilian killing.
so what I can hear from here is he's trying to say that the Palestinians are doing false flags. Well, come on, man. We know that that's Esau's go-to move. False flags, okay? 9/11, October 7th, recently of last year, okay, the year before. Come on, that's your MO. Fake ass shit.
It's like a setup. It's not fake, but they're doing it to themselves. You're dehumanizing yourself. You're suiciding and sacrificing your civilian population.
Did you get that?
Okay. All right, let's get back to these scriptures before we go and continue with that. Once again, this is Amalek's laundry list, okay? And as you see, he's not going to own up to his bullshit. This is the book of Psalms 58 and 3. The wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. Okay? And let's get the Bible comparison of that. All right, NLT. These wicked people are born sinners. Even from birth, they have lied and gone their own way. So as soon as they go goo goo gaga, ain't no telling they lying. Okay? All right. Okay. This is the NIV. Even from birth, the wicked go astray. From the womb, they are wayward, speaking lies. Okay. So you can't get around that. And this is how about I was casting this warning. Okay. This is the book of John, St. John 3 and 19. And this is the condemnation that light is come into the world. And man loveth darkness rather than light, especially who? The wicked. Okay, who this earth was given to. Job 9 and 24. The earth is given to the hands of the wicked. He has nothing to do with light. Because their deeds, what? Or evil. Were evil. Okay? For everyone that doeth evil hateth the light. See, they can't go hand in hand. Neither cometh to the light, least his deeds should be reproved. So what are we doing? Once again, what are the prophets doing? Exposing them, using what? First of all, the highways and byways, then using these devices that Yahweh Bashim Shah has set up that will know they won't be here too much longer due to what? to due to us exposing the wiki. Okay? It's just see how that works? This is the book of Ephesians 5 and 11. And have no fellowship with the unfruitful works of darkness, but rather reprove them. Once again, call them out. Okay? For it is a shame even to speak of the things which are done of them in secret. And we're gonna get to that. And I hope that I can bring this back out. Hey, Baba Kashaya, how about Shemel Shah? Remind let me I need to bookmark that because this is gonna come to play. I remember this, and then I was like, I know I got the verse, but I need this at the end too. Okay, so I put a little bookmark there. All right, and here we go. Back to this.
Did you digest what was just said there? Taking it in? The Palestinian civilians were asking for it. By trying to make a crossing in an officially Israeli declared safe zone for civilians, no less, they are responsible for their own murder. It's their fault for walking around with a white flag while being so Palestinian in the vision of an Israeli soldier. Much like Lonabox, his very first instinct when he is confronted with overwhelming evidence of the state which he unconditionally supports committing war crimes, when said evidence renders outright denial impossible, the first thing that comes to mind for him is to blame the victims for their own deaths. He literally...
Once again, who brings that out? Elder Malcolm from Chicago and the Chicago branch. All of them do. I mean, you know, all over it's known, but that's who I'm more in tune with hearing to expose them for doing that, for being the bully / victim, all in one breath.
Ironically, makes the argument that Palestinians are essentially like baiting Israeli soldiers by walking provocatively with a white flag into killing them so that they can film it to do what he calls farming TikTok clips. This is the level of depravity, of desperation that the genocide propagandists are at. Israel's actions are so obvious, so clear, so well evidenced, so indefensible that there are frequently times like these where the best defense they can muster is, well, what did you expect, man? It's not like you can expect an Israeli soldier to resist an opportunity to just murder a Palestinian civilian. You were kind of asking for it there. And they aren't even cognitive of how what they're saying is a denouncement of themselves, of Israel, of everything they're trying to defend. The Goebbels level Israeli genocide propaganda that they are utilizing to attempt to justify their genocide, that's the fault of Palestinians and their supporters for even talking about it.
People who were anti-Israel, they were the ones who spread that.
Palestinian civilians being murdered by Israel on video in broad daylight while waving white flags in an Israeli declared safe zone, that's their fault too.
I think they were farming TikTok clips.
Now, genocide justification usually has...
I think they was farming TikTok clips. What the fuck does that mean? I know, look, Ishmael's a wild man. Yeah, we know about the suicide bombing and stuff, but I'm going to go out here and take a bullet just so it could be on. I mean, hey, you know, I'm pretty sure in the mind of Amalek, that's true. You know, the lie is the truth in the mind of Amalek.
Levels to it. It has like a checklist. First, it's blatant lies, attempting to sow doubt about the facts. You know, we can't really know what's going on, right? There's the fog of war. It's very unclear, though in this case, it's very much not unclear. The evidence is totally overwhelming. You see it on your social media feed every single day. They nonetheless have to act like the evidence is not clear, have to muddy the waters because it's the best that they can manage. To begin with, it's either that or just outright denying that it happened. The evidence is fake. It's Hollywood, as our friend Destiny so graciously called it. It's a Hamas conspiracy to delegitimize Israel, stuff like that. Then once that argument inevitably falls over, they move on to what Lonabox tried in that first clip. Okay, so it did happen, but there is an accident or there is some other explanation for it. Then when that doesn't work out, they move on to claiming, okay, so it wasn't an accident, and maybe there isn't a good explanation for it, but that's not representative of the conduct of the Israeli military overall. Please ignore the endless evidence that it is. It's got nothing to do with the Israeli government or systematic Israeli policy. It's just one or two guys doing some bad stuff, you know? Then when none of that works, when they are backed into a corner by the endless evidence that makes it abundantly clear that this is very much intentional policy, they move on to one of two things. Acknowledging that it's happening, but implying that somehow the victims made it happen, or the tried and tested strategy of, so are you implying that Israel would intentionally do the thing that there is clear evidence that is intentionally doing? What are you, anti-Semitic? Now I'm going to bring up a clip of Israel's lawyer desperately trying to defend Israel from the charge.
Okay, that's exactly where I want to be. And you heard what he said that you just gave. That's why I've named this Amalek's laundry list. Okay, aka receipts. All right. Um, this is the book of Ezekiel. Ezekiel 35 and 6. Therefore, as I live, saith Yahweh Bashmi Awashah, Allah power, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. All right, this is a promise. Ain't no way around this. Okay, saith, since thou hast not hated blood, show me when they've ever restrained from blood, especially spiritual Babylon, United States of America. But obviously, we're talking about Amalek. So let's stay on Amalek. Are they sustaining from blood now? No, they're genociding. They're deep waist in blood right now, spiritually. Even blood shall pursue thee. The water Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. You know, the ultimate eye for an eye will come. The ultimate payback, the lick back will come from Yahweh Bashim Yahushua and his hosts, the heavenly angels, okay? Yahweh Shai and the archangel Michael and all the mighty brown, dark brown, black beard angels coming to get you, okay? Coming to get you. Therefore, as I live, saith Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, Allah power. I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. Okay? Saith, since thou hast not ever, never, not ever, at any time, hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. Okay? All right?
Charges incredibly well evidenced that it is systematically using Gazan civilians as human shields. This is something that has been evidenced by dozens of testimonies of the victims, by clear photo and video evidence of it occurring, and by Israeli soldiers themselves who have come forward to say that the practice is happening. Think about the checklist that I went over and see which tactic you can see being used here.
I'm guessing you already know that they're using like Gazan civilians to scope out tunnels and buildings, right?
Yeah, I know that, yeah. Or at least the Haaretz article said that, so yeah.
Yeah, that's a top-down thing, so it is policy. It's not just the accountability thing. Right?
Is that like is that actually their military policy though? Because I thought one of the problems there was that soldiers eventually were refusing to do it because of the unlawful order.
There were some that didn't want to do it, but it was still like the commander issuing the orders, and it's a pretty open secret in the IDF, and it has been done before in other wars.
Yeah, so you're saying a commander did it, but a commander obviously is not particularly high up in the chain of command. Like, is it the case that is it still the case that it's their IDF policy? Like, it's the policy from like the chief of staff though, or is it like commanders are doing it, but people are turning a blind eye?
So this man obviously is going on his way to not understand genocide or the function of genocide. It just is not settling in on him that the ish people, the ratish people could be wrong in any way. It just somehow it's got to be a mistake that all of these deaths are occurring.
Because that's like my argument. My argument is that people are getting away with committing crimes because there's not going to be accountability, but it still doesn't negate the fact that their training even tells them not to do that. Their training tells them if you get an unlawful order, you're supposed to disobey.
So he's making the bad apples argument here, except not for individual soldiers, but for commanders. You know, the fact that there are individual soldiers who are refusing this order and going to the media to complain about it indicates that it is in fact systemic, that it is in fact policy, because it is coming from the commanders, and it is only a few individual soldiers who have denounced it. That is the exact opposite of a few bad apples. But he nonetheless tries to make that argument because nothing else occurs to him. I'm eagerly awaiting the sequel to this argument. It's just a few bad prime ministers. Like, half of his arguments are these clearly systemic practices that have been repeated time and time again in a clear pattern of conduct that is simply undeniable are somehow not indicative of Israeli policy, of Israel's goals in this so-called war, of why they're there in the first place, and why they are doing what they are doing. While we're on that note,
Here we go.
let's go.
Timing. The water Yahweh some y'all shot. I didn't know I was gonna be able to catch all these points when I wanted to make them, but the water Yahweh some y'all shot. This is the book. So I hope you keeping up with this. These people are just downright filthy. All right, for real, filthy as those tunnels they came up out of in New York. Amalek. Psalms. Salakia. Now hit it again. Psalms. Where we at? 58 and 4. Their poison is like the poison of a serpent. They are like the deaf otter. They stoppeth her ear. So you just heard that. And look, let me Bible comparison this too. Because basically what this scripture is saying, the hum, nothing to see here. Why? Because they have the power. NLT. They spit venom like deadly snakes. They are like cobras that refuse to listen. Okay? NLV. Their venom is like the venom of a snake that, like that of a cobra that has stopped its ears. Okay? And that's just because they have the temporary power to do this. They have the foot on the neck of the world right now. Okay? They have the foot on the neck of the world right now. And once again, let's read this one more time. Psalms 58 and 3. The wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies, not speaking truth, not speaking fact, not backing it up with fact. No, not at all. All right. Okay, we're gonna let this from this point play out, and then we're gonna close it out with some scriptures. Pay attention.
Go over one final clip. It is his reaction to Mehdi Hassan.
Now remember, I named this Amalek's laundry list, aka receipts. However, when I named this, I didn't find this part. I didn't hear this part until today, which really, hey, it just made me feel warm.
Going over a long.
Oh, Salakia.
Actually,
But hey, no fear. I know exactly where we are.
Israel's goals in this so-called war. Final clip. It is his reaction to Mehdi Hassan going over a laundry list of Israel's genocidal crimes that they have committed in the last year.
I don't understand how it.
You hear that? Wee! I did not know that he was going to quote with that. I just named it this based on what I seen from the information.
What they are doing. While we're on that note, let's go over one final clip. It is his reaction to Mehdi Hassan going over a laundry list of Israel's genocidal crimes that they have committed in the last year.
I don't understand how we're debating this more than 40,000 deaths later. I don't understand how we're still debating this sitting in the comfort of New York, 7,000 miles away from a place that the UN Secretary General has called hell on earth. Justified? Justified? Was Israel justified in carrying out one of the most intense civilian punishment campaigns in history, according to Dr. Robert Pape at the University of Chicago, dropping 500-pound bombs, 1,000-pound bombs, 2,000-pound bombs on schools, hospitals, universities, bookstores, libraries, mosques, churches, refugee camps, apartment buildings, cemeteries, destroying a higher percentage of buildings in northern Gaza than the Allies destroyed in Dresden during World War II, reducing Gaza to 42 million tons of rubble while they got people out of the way? How is that justified? Dropping a bomb, for example, on a 6-story apartment building in central Gaza last October, killing more than 100 people inside, including more than 50 children, with no Hamas target in sight, according to Human Rights Watch, with no explanation offered by the Israeli military. Even till today, was that justified, Elon? Was Israel justified in telling people to go to safe zones and then bombing them and killing them in those safe zones? According to NBC, there were 7 deadly airstrikes between January and April in areas that the Israeli military had specifically designated as safe zones, killing Palestinian civilians like Sabrine Sakani, who was 30 weeks pregnant at the time. She was killed in a safe zone in April. Her little baby, newborn baby, died less than a week later. Was that justified too, Elon? Was Israel justified in killing a record number of kids in Gaza, 16,000 children, turning Gaza into what the UN has called a graveyard for children, according to Save the Children, killing more kids in the first 3 weeks that were killed globally in each of the past 4 years, killing little kids like 6-year-old Hind Rajab and her 15-year-old sister Layan, firing 335 bullets into the car they were in. 335 bullets. And then killing the 2 paramedics who went to try and rescue them. Was that justified too, Elon? Was Israel justified in killing a record number of aid workers in Gaza? Right? A record number. Targeting again and again, systematically, car by car, according to Chef Jose Andres. A specifically, explicitly marked World Central Kitchen aid convoy killing 7 aid workers in the process. Was that justified? Was Israel justified in starving the people of Gaza, using food and water as a weapon of war, to quote both the EU and Oxfam? Was Israel justified in blocking aid trucks from going into Gaza simply because they carry things like crutches, nail clippers, and even chocolate croissants, according to the Washington Post? Was Israel justified in raping, sodomizing Palestinian detainees who were charged with no crimes whatsoever? Putting hot rods up their rectums, amputating their limbs, according to CNN and the New York Times. Was that rape and torture justified?
Hold on. This is where I'm going right back to this. I'm not going to forget this point. This is the Ephesians, right back at you. Yeah. Is this what the Apostle Paul was talking about? I wonder. Ephesians 5. And the water, because once I said, I knew I had the verse, but I didn't know how far it was away from it. So let's bring it back out. Ephesians 5 and 12. For it is a shame even to speak of the things which are done of them in secret. Okay? But now it's being brought out. But all things that are reproved are made manifest by the light. That's right, by Yahweh exposing their wickedness. For whatsoever is done, for whatsoever doth make it manifest is light. So, hey, it's a beautiful time for us to be in right now.
Elon Israel, according to the ICC chief prosecutor, who put out a statement calling for the arrest of Elon's former boss, Benjamin Netanyahu, said that Israel may have military goals, legitimate goals, but the way they're carried out, killing innocent people, starving people, is criminal, he said. Criminal, think about that. Elon Levy is a former spokesperson for a man who the ICC chief prosecutor once arrested for war crimes. Elon himself has produced a number of lies, sorry, John, in service of those war crimes. He has a bunch of tweets still up tonight which say that babies were beheaded on October the 7th, babies were baked in ovens, babies were ripped from their mother's wombs. October 7th was bad enough, but Elon had to exaggerate it for atrocity purposes. Those tweets are still up. Why would you trust anything this man says to you tonight?
That's right. I'm going to end it on that. Why would you trust anything Amalek ever says to you? Not tonight, ever. Ever. All right? This is Obadiah. I pray that this has been edifying. Once again, Amalek's laundry list, okay? AKA, we got receipts. Obadiah, first chapter, well, only one chapter, verse 8. Shall I not in that day, saith Yahweh Bashim Shai, even destroy the wise man of Edom? Who was Edom? Esau, Esau's nation, okay? The understanding out the mount of Esau, and the mountain, and what's that mount? The government, okay? And thy mighty man, O Teman, shall be dismayed to the end that every one of the mount of Esau, there it goes, mount of Esau, may be cut off by slaughter. Okay? Yep. Okay, this is the book of Isaiah. And remember, these are promises, whether you choose to believe them or not, whether you think they're fables, or just the Bible is just an ancient book of wisdom. Okay, well, we're going to see. Because we know this book is prophecy. We know this book is the prophesization, the history book of our nation, of Yasharallah, and the future being prophesized through this book, okay? For Yasharallah, you so-called African Americans, Native Americans, Hispanics, speckled birds, it's our book, okay? Not the world's book. It is the world, it's the book that condemns the world, okay? Isaiah 47, starting at 1. Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. I love that. Now, how do you confuse this verse? O daughter, virgin of Babylon. How is she a virgin? First of all, those we have not seen fire rain down on us. Okay, like how we put it down on other nations. All right, that's one. We have not been ran through how we ransacked these other nations. Okay, oh, come down and sit in the dust, oh virgin daughter of Babylon. Sit on the ground. What does that mean? You no longer have power. You've been stripped. There is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. And what does that mean? Oh, we the shining beacon light. The nation senator Sellout Scott. That talk will no longer be taking place. You no longer gonna be seen as big and bad in the most wonderfulest place. Take a millstone and grind meal. Uncover thy locks and make bare thy leg, exposing her. Uncover thy thigh, pass over the rivers. Okay, thy nakedness shall be uncovered. Yea, thy shame shall be seen. Is it not being seen right now? Are we not calling you out for all your wickedness? I will take vengeance and I will not meet thee as a man. The Wadi Yahabashim Yawashai. No more. He's not coming down here to go on the cross again. So you 2/3 Jakes better get your shit right, because you're going to be part of this punishment too. This is not just reserved for the 17 nations. It starts at the house of Jacob. Remember Jacob's trouble. Okay? And I pray that this has been edifying. I'm going to end this on Obadiah chapter 1, verse 10. For thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever and ever and ever and ever. Dot, 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 dot. I pray that this has been edifying. Shalom.